If I had to start over, this is what I'd do. If I lost my bank account, if I lost my money, lost my ClickFunnels account, lost pretty much everything, lost my following, these are the simple steps I would take to get it all back. This is actually not a hypothetical. I'm more telling you what I did do when this pretty much did happen. Let's dive in. So almost 3 years ago, I actually got a very similar question from Russell Brunson. That's why I say this is not really hypothetical. This is what he said. He said, "Hey, Steven, I'm gonna ask you a question. You suddenly lose all your money with your name and reputation and only have your marketing know-how left. You have bills piled high, people harassing you for money over the phone, plus you have a guaranteed roof over your head, a phone line, an internet connection, and a ClickFunnels account for only 1 month. You no longer have your big guru name, your following, your JV partners. Other than your vast marketing experience, you're an unknown newbie. What would you do from day 1 to 30 to save yourself?" Okay. Now, what was interesting about that is he sent that out to about 30 of us, of people who've made $1 million on the internet or more. It's not really hypothetical though. That's actually the context almost that I left my job under. So what this came into is I was able to go and I wrote a chapter in his book called 30 Days, walking through literally day by day of what I did do, a few things of what I wish I'd done, but mostly is what I did do to save my own butt. All right. And it was intense. It was intense. But I want to walk through what I said loosely inside of that chapter. This is fascinating stuff. Please get out a piece of paper if you're trying to figure out how to get money quickly. Obviously, I can't guarantee that, but this is what I did do. One thing you're going to notice throughout this plan, though, is you're going to notice it's based on constant testing, leverage, and instead of doing one-on-one sales, right, I use the power of the internet to create one-to-many sales. It's one of the reasons why the internet is so effective to sell. So this is what I did week one. Week one, and this is what I wrote inside the book, and a variation of this is really what I did though in real life. So you have to understand, when I left my job, man, I had, like I said, I really didn't have anything. I didn't have a product, I didn't have revenue, I was negative cash flow, I was in debt. We had a mortgage, we had a car. My ex-wife at the time, she was pregnant with our 3rd kid. I mean, it's not really a good time to leave your job, right? And there was only a few reasons why I felt confident in doing that, and a lot of it is based on the way that I left and my marketing plan to make sure we weren't going to freak out or starve or anything. So week one, what did I do? Week one, what I did is I wrote, I'm going to read a little bit more than I usually would, but week one, what I did is I actually create a sales message. I created a sales message targeted at frustrated buyers. Frustrated buyers are the easiest people to sell. Okay, meaning they're frustrated buyers of other people's products. They bought someone else's product and they're frustrated. One of the easiest people to sell ever. Okay, and so the reason why it's so powerful is because they've said, yes, I'm a buyer. I took money out of my pocket and I've purchased someone else's product. But when you target a frustrated buyer, they're the type of person who is actively seeking some other product. So if you think of like a golf analogy, the golf ball is like right next to the hole. You don't have to set some world record putt-putting, right? In trying to get them close to being a good fit to buy. They're already there. They have already purchased, right? They literally are looking for another reason. So that's why I did it. I wrote a script for specifically somebody who is frustrated, and that's the person I was gonna go out and seek. So I did a few things to start trying to seek out that person. Now that I had the sales script to go out and seek a frustrated person, what I did is I started podcasting a lot. Podcasting is like nothing to start. It's so cheap. It's hardly any money at all to start podcasting. So I started podcasting. I already kind of was a little bit, but I started podcasting a lot harder. And what I did is I started trying to think to myself, if I'm gonna go for a frustrated buyer and I have a script created for them, what shows are that frustrated buyer listening to? Right? A lot of them, like collectively. And so what I did is I started targeting whoever the podcasters were that were speaking to my future dream customer, my future buyer. I started asking that podcast host to come on my podcast. So that podcast host came on my show, started interviewing them. And what do you think happened? A lot of their following also started coming to me. So I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again. And I spent a lot of time pulling together audiences like that. It was one of the fastest ways I grew an audience. All right, so just to recap, in case you didn't really get that, week one, I wrote a sales script and I started testing it on a show. I told my sales script on a podcast. I told my sales script immediately. You understand, I started selling the moment I ended writing it. Actually, 5 minutes after I finished my script, I started trying to pitch it. Literally, because I remember. 5 minutes after I started pitching using that script. Then the second week, I started gathering other people on my show. I started pulling people together, getting other influencers who had my future dream buyers, my future buyers coming and following behind him. That's how I started growing my list so much. So what I do week 3. All right, now what I did in real life is I started pitching during week 3. I pitched. I did a lot of pitching. I pitched honestly, like I said, 5 minutes after it's done, but I really turned it up and I started pitching a lot. I pitched and pitched and pitched and pitched and pitched. You have to understand that people buy because of the sales script, not because of the product. And so what I was doing, please take note of this. I was pitching a product that wasn't done yet. I told them that many times during the pitch. Don't bait and switch, people. That's called being a jerk and a crazy scumbag, all right? I just told people, hey, this product is not yet done. Right? And because of that, I'm going to give you a little bit of a discount or a little bit of a bonus or a little bit of something else. Somehow I'm going to scratch your back a little bit extra because you're buying something that's not totally done yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to release it little by little, 1 week at a time. And you'll do it with me. Guys, that's crazy value add for people. Holy smokes. And you realize how much people are doing it to you now? I mean, that's exactly what Elon Musk did with his Tesla truck thing, right? People don't have it. They already put money down for it. They don't have it. He said, hey, help us fund this thing so we can go build it and we'll give it to you. That's pretty common now, okay? To sell something that's not totally done yet. So I spent a lot of time in the sales seat, This is one of the reasons why I could make money without the product being totally done yet. Just be forward about it and it's fine. All right, week 4, what I wrote in the book is slightly different than how I actually did it, but is largely, funny enough, how I actually did it was faster and compressed with time. It's faster. I did almost everything that I said hey, this is what I would do in 30 days. Did most of that in 2 weeks. I was just doing it faster. Same activities, guys. What I did week 4 though is just continue to do a weekly live webinar. A weekly live webinar is routinely one of the fastest paths to $1 million. If you're trying to make $1 million, do a live webinar every single week. Figure out how to get people to it every single week. And that's just one of those things. It's kind of like, hey, if you practice running every day, you're probably gonna get better. It's almost like that. It's like, hey, did you know that if you do this, like it's math, right? 1 + 1 is 2. It's the same thing with a live webinar. I have had a few people who've been like, I've done 30 live webinars and I made no money yet. I'm like, okay, with it, so just keep going then, all right? Just keep going. So what I started doing though is I used the webinar model, weekly live webinar model to sell. So every single week I started by pitching and trying to close the people that were on the webinar throughout the week. And I just did it again. I didn't stop that. I ended up doing about 17 live webinars before I automated it. By the time, and I really want you to hear me say this, guys, by the time my product was done, so I left my job with security. By the time I actually finished the product, I had I think I had 150 to 200 grand in my pocket. That's insane. That's crazy cool. I've done that multiple times now. I'm doing it actually right now as I film this video with you on another product. It's largely done. I just want to make sure it's cool and that they love it. So I drip it out 1 week ahead of them, and I'm doing live webinars every single week. I have another one tomorrow morning. And this model has been a cornerstone activity for all of the things that I've created. You guys, before I show you a few last things I did to make this even more secure, press subscribe. My road has been a long road to be right here on this camera in front of you at this time while you're on the other side on YouTube. Press subscribe. I'd love to show you more tips and strategies and ways that I've made it as an internet marketer and how we continue to grow as a company. Press subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notifications to get notified when new videos come out, which is every day. And in the comments below, I'd love to know what the biggest takeaway has been. What's maybe one of the hangups that you're experiencing trying to jump off on your own and become an internet entrepreneur. All right, now in the scenario that Russell Brunson handed me, it was about 30 days. You have to know though, it was about 3 months in total from the time of me selling every week to me actually automating the webinar. So I don't really remember, I don't think we turned on ads until month 3. Month 3. So we turned on paid ad traffic month 3. I automated the funnel month 3. And at that point, that was really when we started just making subtle little tweaks. And it built this machine that just kept bringing in sales. And even while I've been filming with you guys today on YouTube, what's up? We're having sales coming on in for those machines. This is the power of the internet. It's leverage, right? So just the big takeaway I want you to take away from this entire thing, the takeaway is, okay, when you develop a sales message, do not wait until the product is done to start testing the message. As soon as the sales message is done, you should start using it and see if it actually works, because my first version sucked compared to what it is now. And use the people that you actually want to be buying to be giving you the feedback. It might feel counterintuitive, but you have to understand, just like I was saying with Elon Musk, there's a lot of places where those, hey, what do you think about this product, right? Would you come pay for it up front and we'll give you some kind of XYZ bonus for that? That's a great method, and you can use it especially as a small entrepreneur, you know what I mean? If you're the solopreneur still, you can use that to your advantage to actually be a lot of security and safety for the company that you're building. By the way, as a little side thing, I have had several students go learn the particulars of what I was just talking about, and they've gone off and done the same and crossed the million way before I ever did. It's awesome. This strategy works. You can pull it off too. Hey guys, I got a cool gift for you, which actually cost me $4,000. If you go to ofasignup.com, I'll put the link in the description below. ofasignup.com, I actually paid a professional audiobook reader to read that 30 days book that I was just referencing at the beginning. You can hear the chapter as a professional audiobook. I paid him $4,000. You'll actually get the book for free if you go sign up for the One Funnel Away Challenge through my link. It's free. There's also a whole bunch of other stuff that you get. There's a 5-day mini course that comes with it for free. I keep saying that on purpose so you know it's free. Okay, go to ofasignup.com and get the 5 free day mini course, and the link is in the description.